Hi guys, it's Belle here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of my series Belle Guru's Renovations, where we renovate the pre-made houses in The Sims 4. This is Coorinberg Cottage. It belongs to the Munch family in Windenburg. Last week I have visited them in my series A Day in the Life, and if you want to know the whole story, go and watch this episode first. It will pop up on the top right corner of this video, because some things will make more sense to you if you have watched this video first. So Mila Munch and Diego Lobo bought this old house when they were a young couple, and they had their 3 sons there. But Diego didn't really like to live on the countryside. He was beginning to get famous in his arts critic career, so he decided to leave the family when Mila and her 3 sons were very young, and he moved to San Myshuno. He left them, he abandoned them, and it was very hard for the family. But Mila loved this house and she wanted to stay there, and slowly they began to reconnect, and Mila began to forgive Diego for what he had done because he showed more interest in the family. And Diego also didn't like to live the whole time in the city, so they were talking and they decided that they could renovate this house together. But this house is a historical monument. That means only certain things couldn't be changed. The outer shell of the house and most of the structures of the rooms weren't able to change that. There were strict laws. So yeah, they decided to do the best with it and changed a lot of things they were able to. They made the house in very light colors. They used a lot of windows. For the outside, they choose the colors, the special green and white, because they thought it would look much brighter, much more modern, but still fit into this beautiful Windenburg landscape that we have, with a lot of trees, with a lot of green. It's the countryside, and they still wanted to have this countryside feeling but with a modern touch. So in a way they were okay with it, that the structure had to be intact. So for example, you can see here in this corridor, it is really dark with the colors they have, and everyone in this family loves the color blue and orange, so they decided to make it a bit lighter, to make it warm, to make it a bit more exciting and bright for the whole family. They didn't put a lot of items in this house because they still wanted it to be a lighthouse. This is Günther's home. Günther is the eldest son. He is a writer and he loves to surf. He also changed his whole look. You will see that a bit later when he appears, and he didn't want to have these old-fashioned things in the room anymore. He wanted it to have a surfer feel. He had this special floor installed. It looks like sand, but it isn't. And Now he feels, when he's in his room, he feels like he's on his beloved surfer holiday again, and he feels way better also with his new look. Here his youngest brother Lucas is spending some time in the room because he's loving it. Here you can see the bed. Behind it there is a waterfall integrated because Günther loves the water and it remembers him of the surfing he was doing in the holiday. And here we have another part of the corridor that shows us a little bit of the fancy living room they're having there. And now it looks a bit different. Still the color scheme of orange and blue. And I put a carpet in there, and you can see this is the living room. They never used it. It was so old-fashioned. It was also a bit dark. It was too luxurious, and they have traveled a lot. They brought back so many things from Salvadorada, so I wanted to show them there. And you can see the table here is the centerpiece of the room, and then there are some fancy decorations, and here it looks way more inviting to sit there with these bright colors. But still they wanted to have the room classy and with a bit of an oriental touch, because this family has traveled a lot around the world and they wanted that this shows into their house and in their rooms. So here we have another part of the hallway. On the back you can see the aquarium for the boys, and here is one of their paintings they love so much, and it is really a house that they decided together how they wanted to have it. This is just in front of Diego's and Mila's bedroom, and here is where Mila had her bedroom. She always loved the color yellow and she wanted to keep that color, but her favorite color in fact is purple, so she wanted to have that in the room. And she is also very bohemian, very hippie, so she was the one that would decide about everything for this room. She also added a little bit of pink. I think these colors go so well together because Diego will only spend the weekends with them, and during the week he will still live and work in San Myshuno. So it was she who decided on the room, but it still has this modern and bright feel to it. Then they have only one bathroom. This is a nice bathroom, but it's way too old-fashioned for this family, and because there are way more boys and men that live there, they decided on the color blue. I think Mila would have made it a bit more romantic, but at the same time they're having everything they need here and it looks good in my opinion. They have a shower and they have a big bathtub and they have a double sink there so that everyone can use it. And I like the fact that where the bathtub is, there are curtains, so they have a little bit of privacy. And this is in fact a movie that the sons really love. It's The Doctors. And that's why they wanted to have the poster there. It's a family that loves arts and movies and music and everything. That's why also that Günther is a writer. And I'm not sure about Wolfgang and Lukas, the younger ones, but I do love it. And here, this is more the family part, the family aspect. On the left, you have this bulletin board where they can write down everything. We have two family pictures. It's only one of Mila and Günther and one of Günther. The others one didn't want to have their picture taken, so maybe later on they will. This is the kitchen. It was very modern and you can see now it looks really different from the rest of the house. The reason for that is that Mila and Diego met on a safari trip in Africa. That's where they fell in love, and they thought that this would have a little bit of a vibe that made them remember Africa. So that's how they wanted it to be. And yeah, you know that Mila loves yellow and Mila is in the culinary career, so it is also a bit her room because she will spend a lot of time there. The family will spend a lot of time there and they love it. and they integrated the laundry into this room because they only have one floor. It's a big cottage, but they only have one floor, so they wanted to have a bit more space. So here we are going to the boys' room. So if you remember, in the old one there was this big room with two parts, and this is the room I like the least. I think it's really horrible. I'm so sorry. You can see which side is which, but I wanted to give them two separate rooms, and that's what I did. So you will see Wolfgang's part soon. Wolfgang loves the color black, but his mom insisted that he had still a bit of color, that it wasn't too dark and too distressing, so he decided on purple because he loves the color purple, and I think it turned out really well. We have this part where he sleeps, then we have his guitar because Wolfgang loves rock music and he wants to become a musician. He wants to get famous. I love the poster, the Voidkröte poster he has here, and he loves animals. That's why he has this cat mirror. And then, of course, Wolfgang has his beloved Boobaloo's, and yeah, that's Wolfgang's room. And here you can see the old part of Lucas's bedroom, much more bright. Lucas is a very bright and friendly kid, so Lucas really wanted to have his bedroom in bright colors. Lucas loves the sea and everything that has to do with the sea. He also loves skateboarding, that's why the skateboard are there, and Lucas just became a scout very recently and he has his scout board there. So here you can see Wolfgang on the right and Günther on the left with their new fancy clothing. So that was already a big part of the house. We are going to see a bit what's outside of this cottage. Let me just have a little bit of coffee, because I'm talking non-stop in my voiceovers. So you see, the family loves a lot of plants and green, and they love water because they traveled a lot. So they are having a lot of water around the house and some cozy spots where they can sit. It is very bright. They have some plants. They have a basketball court for the boys to play, and some decorative plants. They didn't want to do too much landscaping because Mila is working and Diego is in San Myshuno during the week, but I wanted to have some accents, and I really like how this turned out. They also have this sort of, I don't know how you call this, but the sort of a swimming mattress on the pool. Of course, I lifted that up with the 9 key, but I think it looks real. They have a little sort of a patio area just outside the kitchen when they can have drinks and coffee. They can also eat there, but I think probably it would be much more comfortable if they would eat over there where the barbecue area is, and where you can see this special pool thingy I have put there. I love the floor here because it's a bit different. It's not everything is blue. Here we have a very cozy little corner where they can just sit and relax and enjoy the beautiful countryside. And what else? So here's the barbecue area, and now they're having this special house. So before it was just an area for the kids, for Günther. They had a television, they had a foosball table, and they had a dart board, and that's where they could be creative. But as the boys are really into sports more and more and more, they decided on the basketball court in the front of the house, and decided to give the foosball table and the dartboard away and to put some fitness equipment into this room. At the same time, they have some art object that they had from their vacation in Salvadorada and on other places, and I think it looks really good. It is a fitness room, but at the same time it has this artsy vibe that I really like, and it goes very well with the water that surrounds this special little pool house. The last part is a little film for you to enjoy for the family, so you can see how they like their new house. And yeah, have fun, guys. See you in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.